What's up guys, ViperFPV here, and today we are going to be flashing Falco onto one of my quads. Now I actually installed the Cricket FPV, I think it's the Revolt OSD Lite, pretty much, that I got in the quad box onto one of my freestyle quads. I already have the Revolt OSD on one of my racing quads, and I already flashed Falco X and actually flew that thing around. But I want to go ahead and flash it, show you guys how easy it is to actually set it up and flash it and then set it up. And then in a future video, I'm going to be pretty much comparing what Falco X, because I already did some videos on the original FlightOne, on like the sim mode and all that stuff, how to set that up, and my general thoughts on what I thought about it. So now it's my turn to go ahead and give Falco X a turn and see if there's any changes, if I like it better, what's improved, and go from there. So now I have a freestyle quad and a racing quad to pretty much do on one video where we can compare both of them. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to flash the Falco X onto your flight controller, and then also how to set it up right into your OSD. You do not need a computer at all, and we'll go right into that. All right, we're on the computer, and the first thing you want to go ahead and do is download the hex file to flash the firmware onto the flight controller. Now, I didn't explain this before, but this will only work if you have a Revolt OSD, or you have the Revolt OSD Lite, or even the Cricket FPV Lite. The Cricket's pretty much a Revolt OSD Lite that's just a purple PCB. So go ahead and download this, put it onto your desktop. I already went ahead and did that on mine. It's somewhere around here. Yep, right over there. So then you want to go ahead and do is download the FlightOne configurator, and you'll just need the FlightOne configurator just one time, and that's just to flash the firmware onto the radio, onto the flight controller. So just go down here, go to whatever version you have, Mac, Linux, and just download that, install it, and then run it. And once you have it ran, it'll show you this right here. So what we're going to do is, let me close that out real quick and just rerun it real quick. FlightOne. And just go ahead and click on it and get it running. There it goes. So it's running. It's looking for the flight controller. So we got that there. And I'm just going to go ahead and plug in my flight controller right now. Like so. And it should find it, and it should connect to it. Alright, so it's in DFU mode, so pretty much all I want to do is update the firmware. So I'm going to click on that. I want to flash my own file, and then click confirm. And then it's going to look for the file, so I am on my desktop, and I want this one right here. So what I'm going to do is click on that. It's going to erase the chip, and then it's going to go ahead and flash it. And then once that's done, we're going to go ahead and move right over to the OSD on the flight controller itself. All right, so I got my goggles on. I got my radio. It's already bound to the quad already. So if you are building a brand new quad, you probably will have to go ahead and bind it up the wherever way that you need to bind it up, either pressing the button, if you have crossfire, or whatever. So we're going to skip that part. If you have it bound, you have it bound. Then we're going to go ahead and do is plug in the quadcopter and make sure that we have the props off, and it would also help too if we have the like a fan or something blowing over the VTX, or have it on pit mode, or something like a 25 milliwatts or something to that effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this thing in, and that is Game of Thrones. So once that's connected, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in my goggles. And then we're going to go ahead and get looking at the OSD. All right, so we're in the goggles right now. And as you can see right now, it is flashed real quick. It's trying to set the camera to PAL or NTSC for our OSD. Wait till you can see that it's clear, and then hit your arm switch. So I went ahead and did that. Now it wants us to stick, pretty much move our sticks around so we can pretty much set our endpoints on our gimbals. So what we're going to go ahead and do is move that in circles. All right, So now we want to lay down the quad flat and center all the sticks. Now it says to only move the throttle stick and move it down. So we're going to do that. Then we want to move our yaw stick to the left. Then it wants me to move our pitch stick down. And then it wants us to move our roll stick to the left. All right. So now it's saying when your props are on, which side of your front left prop is highest. Yaw left for left reverse props, or yaw to the right for normal props. I always run normal because I will forget on which quads have normal or reverse. If you don't have very many quads, I would probably recommend running it reversed. I think Joshua Bardwell made a pretty excellent video on why, but that's pretty much what you want to do. So I'm going to go to the right. Oh, yaw to the right. So we roll to the right. Place your arm switch in an arm position. So my arm switch is in the arm position already. And then move roll right. All right, make sure props are off, roll right, and yaw left to confirm props are off. So we're going to roll right and left. All right, so push both sticks towards the corner of the motor that are spinning. So let me take my goggles off real quick here. And I see that my motor 1 is spinning. That's the bottom right. So I'm moving both my sticks to the right. So now it says that the motor 2 is spinning, and it wants me to put it to where it is again. So motor 2 actually is spinning, so I'm going to move it to the top right. Motor 3, bottom left. And I'm assuming motor 4 is left front. All right, are you using BHeli 32? I believe yes, I am. So I'm going to roll to the right for yes. Is the left front motor spinning clockwise? Yes, it is. So we're going to go roll right for yes. Is the front right motor spinning counterclockwise? It is. And is the rear right motor spinning clockwise? It is. And is the rear left motor spinning counterclockwise? It is. All right, it says put the quad on its nose and push roll stick to the right. So pretty much just setting the accelerometer on the quad. So what I'm going to do is put it on its nose and then roll to the right. And then we're going to put that back down. All right, so wizard's complete, and then let's do pretty much a power cycle the entire quad. So we're going to go ahead and shut it off and then put it right back on. All right, so right now, it's pretty much set up. There's some additional things that we can go ahead and do in the OSD. So what we want to do is get into the OSD. You want to put both sticks down to, I believe it's down to the left. No, it's inside. So you want to put both sticks to the right. Well, I guess the yaw to the right and then roll to the left. Actually, no, it's not. It is left and left. So yaw to the left and roll to the left. The other one was the other way. So now we're pretty much in the OSD, and we can go ahead and change some things that we might want to mess with. I would suggest this going and running on default, but we do want to go ahead and play with our rates and stuff like that. So the preset right now is default. We have the Blackbird, we have Schizo, we have low power, high power. This will be pretty much, you want to mess with all these. Fly pretty much on these defaults right here, and then see where you're at with it. And then you can start playing with it. Fly it a pack, fly it a half a pack, see if you like it, see if it even flies good, change it to another one, and then find the one that you like the best. That's pretty much where I would probably start off with tuning on this anyway. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, so we're on D-Shot 1200, which that will pretty much dictate what kind of ESC you have. If you're using like the Bolt ESC or one of the FlightOne brand new ESCs, you might be able to get away with, I believe it's see here. It is D-Shot. Where is it here? D-Shot 32, I think, is the one that you really probably want to use. I think that's the best one. I'm going to use, I know I can get D-Shot 32 to work on one of my quads already, and it doesn't even have a FlightOne flight controller. But just to say, I'm going to say D-Shot 1200, because I know my ESCs are B-Heli 32. So that's what that's going to be. VTX protocol. This is where we want to set up our smart audio or our telemetry for our video transmitter. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do smart audio, because this one does use the TBS Unify. And we're going to go ahead and go here to TBS. Let's see here. TBS V3. It's not a race. It's not a race 2. I believe it's the HV. So we're going to go ahead and do HV. And then we're going to just scroll over. And then we have our Quopa mode, which is pretty much turtle mode in Betaflight. And what we're going to do is we're just going to roll to the right for that. And then we're going to go ahead and set that up. So yaw left to exit. And it pretty much wants me to move a switch. So I know that for a fact that I'm going to be using this switch here. Move switch to on. And roll left. So I'm going to want here. And then I'm going to roll left. All right, so that's pretty much set up. It's done. That's how you set up turtle mode. And then we have our OSD right here. And we can go ahead and set that up too, right through the OSD. And right here, you can have you change what you want here. So like right here, you can have it disarmed or armed status. You can have your voltage, your timers, and everything else. And then you just, oh, went wrong way. Okay, so pretty much what you want to do, keep going back. There we go. So pretty much what we want to do is you roll right to change stuff, you roll left to go back, and then up and down on the pitch and pitch down will pretty much change what you can see. So on this right here, I also want to make that blank. I want to make that blank. Oh, went the wrong way. Let me go the other way. And then we're going to go pretty much all the way down, because I like all my stuff on the bottom. Probably should have went the other way. Probably would have been faster, right? Yeah, it would have been. So right here, I want my channel here. So let's find the channel. Where is it? Well, screw that. We'll just go ahead and do amps for right now. And then right here, we're going to do that, but we'll probably change the name of it. And then I want to have my timer here. Right there. And then I want my voltage right here. I like to do cell voltage because I use 6S batteries too. And yeah, so that's that. And that's pretty much how you set up your OSD on right through the OSD. So that's pretty easy. So this I'm going to go roll to, we're going to yaw to the left, get out of here. And then we have some other options, ARM type double. I like to have it single. I like to just have one switch. If you, that's how I grew up doing this. And then B-Heli 32, we have that set. And then we can put in telemetry if you want to, or enable it or not. And then we can have our amp draw and scaling, all that stuff here. So right here is where your TPA curves are. So this is pretty much the same thing as TPA in Betaflight, but you can pretty much set it up to individual parts. So that really makes it really nice, because look, you can see P, then I, D. So you can pretty much change every single individual one you want to. And pretty much this is where the throttle percentage is. So that's how that is. And then we also have our filtering right here, which you can change or use the presets, which I recommend trying the presets because they're actually really nice. And I'm just using the default right now, and then we'll see how it flies, and then I'll probably play with it a little more. And then this is pretty much where our rates are. One thing that I kind of do gripe about this Falco is I wish there was this preset for Betaflight, but there is not. So please, FlightOne, put Betaflight on here. So all our Betaflight guys can just go ahead and just do this real quick. We don't have to figure out where our rates are. I did figure out, though, that default actually just does feel pretty good to what my rates were. So I'm about 1,000 degrees per second. That's pretty much where this is pretty much at, I feel like. It feels pretty close. So I'm going to leave it at default and not mess with it very much at all. And then this is right back to the tuning. So then what we're going to do is we can do save and exit. And we're all set up in Falco X. So that's pretty much how you set up Falco X. Go put your props on and go fly it on defaults and see how it does. So that's it. Pretty much setting up the new beta for Falco X for FlightOne. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. Let me know if you've tried out Falco X and tell me what your thoughts are about it too. So I'll see you guys in a future video where we'll probably go ahead and do some flights with my racing quad that's on Falco, along with my freestyle quad that's on Falco. So I'll give you my thoughts, see if it's awesome, if it's bad, it's the same. We'll see. So I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.